Hi friends, my name is Aaliyah and welcome to my channel, Aaliyah Uncharted. Today I'm coming at you with another TBR, this time for October. I went on a bit of a break because I was traveling for most of September and then I was recovering, but now I am back just in time for spooky season, and I'm really excited about it. Granted, spooky season isn't generally my jam because I am a weenie. I don't do horror. I'm not really a fan of the scary stuff. It is just not my jam at all. So for me, spooky season is all about the magic. It is about fantasy and paranormal and atmospheric vibes, which is most of what I read on a regular basis anyway, but now I can extra lean into it. So I've got some books that I have been absolutely dying to read, and now is the perfect time. And I'm so excited. So let's just hop into all of the books I'm wanting to read this October. So first up, I have my buzzword reading challenge pick of the month of October. And the prompt for October is to read a book with a creature or animal in the title. And this is pretty easy because I want to read Thrown to the Wolves by Charlie Adhara. This is the third book in the Big Bad Wolf series, which I've mentioned for my last few videos because I am obsessed with it. This is my newest gay werewolf series, except they are detectives. We are following a man named Cooper who is an FBI agent who was recently exposed to the world of werewolves. Werewolves are still hidden to the majority of society, but now the FBI, at least, is aware of their existence, and so they created the BSI, the Bureau for Special Investigations, specifically to investigate crimes related to werewolves. Cooper ends up getting partnered up with a werewolf named Park, as they kind of team up to solve some werewolf-related murders, and it goes from there. There's murder, there's werewolves, it's gay, and it's wonderful. I am obsessed with this series. I am dying to continue with this series, and this is just the perfect opportunity because every single book in this series has the word wolf in it. So yeah, I'm so excited to continue with the series because Cooper and Park are just incredible. I love their dynamic and their just growing relationship and their continuing character development over the course of the series. And so I'm very excited. So this is going to be definitely one of the first things I pick up. Next up, I have They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. This is a choice from my 12 Recs from 12 Friends challenge from my friend Laura. And this is a thriller novel following our protagonist, whose name I don't know, but she is a professor at a university. So by day, she is teaching the youths, broadening young minds, and then by night, she is a serial killer. Specifically, she is targeting men who are guilty of violent crime against women and are seeing absolutely zero consequences. So she takes things into her own hands. And she's been doing this for a long time, very successfully. But we are also following one of her students, a female student at the university, and I don't know what changes, but some people are starting to connect the dots and catch on to our serial killer protagonist, and so it's about her trying not to get caught, I think. I don't know. This is giving a lot of promising young woman vibes. It's all about supporting women's rights and women's wrongs. And it just sounds like a lot of fun. This is the kind of thriller I can get behind, and so I am excited to read about all the murder. Next up is my book club pick for this month, and that is Experimental Film by Gemma Files. This is a horror book, so I'm a little nervous, but I figured I would at least give it a go for the sake of my book club, just to get out of my comfort zone. So this is about a woman named Lois, and she was formerly a film history teacher. I don't know if she's retired or what, but she used to teach film history, and somehow she stumbles across the work and life of Mrs. A. Whitcomb. She is a fairly infamous experimental film director, both because of her experimental films, but also because she disappeared very mysteriously and has never been seen again. And so Lois starts really digging into both Whitcomb's work as well as her disappearance, inviting maybe some unwanted attention from some things. So this is kind of a modern ghost story. I'm not sure how or whether ghosts play into this, but it's supposed to be very good from what I see online. Granted, that's from people who actually like horror books. So we're going to see how this goes. Again, I'm a little nervous because I am a weenie, but I think the premise sounds really fun and sounds really interesting. So I'm really hoping that I enjoy this. The next book I'm going to talk about is, frankly, the one I'm going to pick up immediately, and that is Silver Under Nightfall by Rinch Pecco. This book just recently came out a couple weeks ago, but it has kind of a long history. So if none of y'all follow Rinch Pecco on Twitter, during 2020, I think, they started just kind of pitching this book, I think just kind of trying to gauge interest of this vampire book of a throuple between two vampires and a vampire hunter, and how cool that would be. And now it is 2022. And we've got it, boys. We've got the goods. And I'm so excited. So, actual synopsis is we're following a man named Remy. He is a vampire hunter. Well, he's the son of a nobleman who doesn't really want him, and he really doesn't fit in with the rest of the nobility because he is an elite vampire hunter. And also there are weird rumors about his own parentage and whether he's half vampire himself. So he doesn't quite fit in, and instead he just goes out and kills the baddies. Then suddenly, they start discovering this new breed of vampire that's just a little off. It's like extra scary, it's behaving very erratically, it's freaking everybody out. And so Remy goes out on his own to try and investigate what is going on. And during his investigation, he runs into a vampire couple, an heiress and her fiance, and they kind of discover that they're both after the same thing. They want to figure out what is causing this rot, or this thing that is really kind of infecting the vampires and making them act really erratically and dangerous. So they decide to team up and figure out what's going on. And during their adventures, their investigation, whatever, Remy starts to develop some fondness, some feelings for both of these vampires. And it makes him kind of rethink both the way he's always been taught to think about vampires and what he's doing. What is he contributing to? Just making him second guess everything he's always known. So it's just, I'm so excited. It's the polyamorous book of my dreams, truly. I'm so excited about this. I really don't know what else to say besides saying that over and over again. I'm gonna eat this up. The next book I want to talk about is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. This is a 5-star prediction, and I'm really excited to get to this. It actually sounds a lot like The House in the Cerulean Sea, but witchy. Let me explain. So this is a book about a witch named Mika. She is one of the few witches in Britain. And the way that this world works is, they're magic, but when two witches are kind of near each other, their magic builds. And so for the sake of not being found out that witches exist, all of the witches have to agree to just never be around each other ever. They're all kind of isolated. And so Mika, who is an orphan, she's been raised by strangers, she makes sure that she stays away from all the other witches. She follows all the rules. But she does have an online account, I think like YouTube or Instagram or something, where she does witchy things, thinking everybody's gonna think/know it's fake, even though it's real. She doesn't think anyone else is gonna think anything of it. It's just like a fun outlet. But someone does take it seriously, and they end up sending her a message asking or begging her to come to this place called Nowhere House, where there are these 3 young witches who really need help in controlling their powers. And so even though she really, really, really shouldn't, Mika goes. And when she's there, she encounters these children, but then she also encounters the other adults that are living in this Nowhere House, including this very grumpy librarian named Jamie, who is very protective of the kids and very suspicious of Mika. But sparks start to fly between them, and Mika starts to find herself a family. And so you can see a lot of the parallels with House in the Cerulean Sea with this one. And but of course, a little bit different, and this is more of an actual romance. but with really heavy found family vibes and magic, and it just sounds perfect. And I'm really, really excited to get to it. I read like the first couple pages, and the writing is already really fun, so I'm really excited to get to this. The last book I'm going to mention in this video is The Inheritance of Orchidia Divina by Zoraida Cordova. This is a fantasy / magical realism book. I'm not sure where exactly it falls, but it's got some magic in it, and we're following the Montoya family. So Orchidia Divina is the matriarch of the Montoya family, and there's always been something a little magical about her, but the Montoyas have never like questioned it. They just know that there's just something a little magical about their family. They all get invited to Orchidia's funeral, where she says, "Come collect your inheritance." And so they do. Now it is 7 years later, and we're following 3 of Orchidia Divina's descendants, and they have all gotten some kind of powers, some kind of abilities that they likely inherited from Orchidia. And they notice that somebody is starting to pick off their family members one by one, because somebody is trying to kill off everybody in Orchidia's line. So they decide to go back to their roots and go to where Orchidia came from, which is Ecuador, to figure out just like the secrets of their family and their heritage, and also figure out a way to save their family. So it sounds very magical and very fun. I am very excited about it. And also, I don't know if I've actually read a book set in Ecuador before, so that's also gonna be really fun. So this is going to be a really good time. All right, so that is everything on the top of my list to read in October, and I could not be more excited. I'm just really looking forward to the spooky season, all the magic and the fantasy and the vampire throuples. It's just gonna be marvelous, and I can't wait. I would love to know what you're looking forward to reading this October, so hop down to the comments and tell me what's at the top of your list. While you're down there, you can hit that like button and go ahead and hit that subscribe if you want to see more from me. But otherwise, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!